Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob from Smirking Gun Reviews, and it's Sunday night. It's a little later than usual because I've had a busy day seeing Deadpool and reviewing that and everything else. But it's still Westworld night, Season 2, Episode 5. The episode is called Akane No Mai. So full spoilers. Akane No Mai basically translates to the Red Dance. So if an HBO show has a title called Red Anything, pretty much prepare for there to be blood. Just going forward, yes, good episode, really good episode. Probably one of the best episodes, top 5 episodes I've ever seen of the show. I mean, we don't really have that many, but this is something I've definitely been waiting for. And yes, it's called Shogun World. Westworld is called, this version is called Shogun World. So my whole Eastworld thing didn't really pan out, but I still say Eastworld is a good title. Shogun World, a little on the nose, but hey, they went for it, so Shogun World. So what I really like here is we just have that little bit of the present, and it's just them picking up the bodies, and really all we get here is just, they're picking up the dead body, the host bodies out of they're getting every little bit of information they can, and the biggest bit of information that we get is that Teddy's host body is there on a pile of other hosts that they've been pulling out of the water. So that's a little bit of, foreshadowing, I guess, or like how did we get here? How did Teddy, end up on the slab? Although it's not surprising really to see that something bad has happened to Teddy. We knew Dolores was disapproving of his actions the last time that we saw him. So it's just a matter of how does Dolores end up putting him on the chopping block if it's Dolores, which it's going to be Dolores. So that's it. That's all we get from the present day, which is fine. I do like how there's kind of these choral, like these stories within Shogun World and in Westworld are kind of, you're seeing two different sides of things. Like at Westworld, the piano player, the player piano is, got blood on it and it's running out of juice. And it's a, example. The Westworld is pretty much just shambles. Well, Shogun World is going down that path. They're still following their narratives to some degree. Because I don't think there's even any guests there. So maybe the guests are out. But if they're out, then like how, if they evacuated or something, or maybe there just wasn't anybody there, like why didn't they try to shut down these hosts? I don't know. I'm not going to go that far into it. But I'm going to just cover the two main things here right off the bat. So the first one is the Dolores storyline. I want to just get through her stuff. I want to kind of make this a shorter video. This doesn't need to be that long, even though this is one of my favorite episodes I've ever done. I'm just kind of tired. So here we are. We're seeing Dolores, to me, really go down what I thought she might, which is that villain path. Bernard had said to her, I think it was Arnold. It's hard to keep these things straight on this damn show. But, if you got too big for this world, worried about the future of Dolores. And I was too, and I really do feel like she is taking this villain turn, because she's kind of taking this last look around, this last tour of the grounds that she knows so well, that she's been programmed to care about. And maybe that was kind of the point of her little tour, was to see what, sticks really. Is there anything from this life that is true, that is real, that sticks with her enough to maybe not go completely the way she's going? And so you know, when we get to the bar and we see uh, Clementine just a wreck. I mean, she can barely, her face is just ticks and wear and tear. I mean, this is a beautiful girl and, a beautiful host, and it just don't look good. Looks like 20 miles of bad road. So you can see, all these things that aren't real. When you wipe away all the, wipe off all the pretty makeup and everything, you start to see the ugliness and everything underneath it. And, without anybody to control it, Westworld is just basically done. I don't think there's really any way to come back from it, even though, like any company can try to spin something and maybe get this back working, because they say let's see if we can get these things working the way we want. So they still haven't given up on trying to get things back to normal. And so we have this whole thing where Teddy and Dolores, they sleep together, and he wakes up in the middle of the night. I thought, man, maybe she had a gun on him or whatever. But no, it's more of it goes back to the story she was telling him about what do you do with the sick cows, and Teddy said that he'd try to help them. And Dolores said, well, my daddy just burned them and we saved the whole herd. So basically saying sacrifice a few so that the many live. And that's what happens to Teddy here. He becomes a sacrifice. He gets led to the slaughter. He gets one last bang. Probably the first bang, if you really think about it. And it really shows to her that, Teddy is a good person, but he can't make it in the world that she has. And that's what I mean by, like, when she keeps saying, like, not all of us deserve to live, and she's willing to make all these sacrifices. Sacrifices for who, Dolores? I feel like it's all very self-serving now. I don't really feel like she's that interested in helping out her own people, hosts. I think she's really in it for herself. The things that she says about the greater, like many of it, I think maybe she thinks that. But again, this is all code, okay? They are still computers. They are living computer. They've been given a certain amount of this, but everything is still, it's in a computer. All these levels and things that they're going off of, it's still programming. So, as much as they still think they're real, I mean, they're still not. They're not. They may have some form of consciousness, but it is not. It is made like, it's kind of weird when we talk about like what's real and what's not, and that's one of the great things about this show. So I'm gonna just stop talking before I dig myself too deep. But there's still just goddamn robots in my head. So she basically has Teddy overridden, killing essentially the Teddy that has been trying to wake up. And I feel like right there, that's the real villain turn on her part, is sacrificing Teddy. We don't know quite how he ends up on the slab, but we know why he's headed down that road. And that's all really for the Dolores storyline there. We get to see more of it next week. I'm really not that, like, it's a good part of it, but let's get to what we're really here for, and that's Shogun World, right? This is badass. And it, on so many different levels, it's badass. Because what we find out here is that the narratives running in Shogun World are mirror images of the Westworld storylines that Lee has been doing. He calls it supply and demand. People want this story over there, they want it over here. So it's it's not plagiarism, it's not whatever. It's just what people are giving people what they want, and what they want is this story. Now, is it freaking crazy cool how they mix the two? God damn right it is. They're all the way down to the Rolling Stones, Paint It Black. It is the introduction of the Westworld bad guys, or they're bad guys there in Westworld. How I kind of see the situation playing out, though, is that in Shogun World they seem more like good guys. Like in this, that the people that they're fighting, maybe in Asia they'd be considered bad guys, but I kind of see them as the good guys because the way things are run there in Shogun World, they don't. It doesn't seem to be very fair. The culture over there seem to work the same as it does here. So what's bad over here might be good over there, that kind of thing. But at least that's just my opinion. That's just kind of how I see it. And it's done so well. I mean, and they're even seeing it the way that they're seeing it. Like, oh my God, this is us. This is our thing. Like how it's all playing out just with freaking katanas and bows and arrows and shit. It is fucking gloriously done and it is so cool. And I mean, I just love it. I mean, I've been waiting for this ever since you saw the Shogun and the ninja armor and stuff in season one. So this is just really, really cool. We get the whole thing with the culture. We also, if there's that saying, familiarity breeds contempt. And, when you get these people that are basically mirror images of each other, they're not necessarily going to see eye to eye or get along. Or maybe they get along too well, as in, like Hector does not trust the Ronin because they're the same. But on the other side, the bow and arrow girl and our blonde girl, I gotta write these names down, man. They seem to be really in tune. And you also have the story of the Sakura and Akane, um, kind of like the Clementine and Maeve connection, or even Maeve and her daughter connection. So they've taken and they've borrowed all these different storylines. They're really just like one story shared amongst all these different groups. So I wouldn't be surprised if in India, their colonial India British thing, there's probably a storyline like that. That resembles this. I also like how Lee, is calling out, oh, this is from this story and this is from this story. So he's not just like good at tech, but he's kind of like the narrative translator. Like when something's going on, he can always have an answer to, oh, well, if this is this story, then this is what's going to happen, and they can be prepared to, take on things. Except now things aren't happening quite the way that they're supposed to, and so, you know, the Shogun's gonna come take the Sakura girl, basically the Clementine or Maeve daughter character, away from Akane, and they try to escape. There's fucking ninjas, and then we find out that Maeve can control some of the hosts with her mind. I don't know if I'd call that a bit of a jump the shark moment, but whatever. I mean, when you're questioning reality in this show, who's to say that somehow she hasn't been able to make a Wi-Fi connection to the other hosts? Is the only way I can think of it. Like somehow her programming can, wirelessly control the other hosts, and it's done great. From the taking out, stabbing. Speaking of the violence and stuff in this episode, when it popped up, when HBO this comes up and it gives you the warnings for what to expect, it just said, I think something about language, adult language. It didn't say anything about everything else that was in it. I was like, man, am I going to watch like kind of a, made for television or edited for television episode of Westworld? No, 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 no. We get plenty of Shogun violence. We get plenty of samurai violence and ninjas getting stabbed through the head and people getting choked out. But what we have here is then the Shogun's people come, and Hector has a plan where he lets himself get taken while Maeve escapes with Lee and Sylvester and Akane and the other tech guy. Forgetting his name right now. But they all leave to go to get Sakura back. And when they get there, well, first off, Lee finds a nice little walkie-talkie that he quickly hides. So he's on his, he's got his plans to get the fuck out of Dodge. But they get to the place, and when they get there, yes, they find out that the Shogun is broken. And not only is he broken, but he's also told his men to cut off their ears because they know that they're calling Maeve a witch. And so they think if they can't hear, she can't do anything to them. Well, they don't know about her, like, fucking Jean Grey, Marvel Girl powers yet. But, so they have this thing where Sakura is going to dance, and the Shogun's going to let Akane take her back. But of course, as these things go, the Shogun stabs Sakura and commands Akane to dance for him. And this is where the red dance comes in. So, it's HBO and the word red's in the title. So we get a crazy dance and we get a crazy violent ending to this episode. Which, I mean, it's coming, right? But it doesn't change the fact that it's fucking badass as hell. Where she takes out the thing from her hair, sticks it in the guy, and that's cool. Just the way that happens. But then she proceeds to go around and slice his goddamn head off where it's all flopping around. And then telepathically or Wi-Fi-ically, that's another trademark word. Okay, what's telepathically Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi-ethically? I'm going to figure that out. Trademark pending. But then she gets everybody to fight each other, and you see the army coming, and, they're all just like, oh, what the hell? And Maeve's got the sword, and it's like, I'm using a new voice. And there's where we leave it. Badass episode. Can't wait for next week. It was really cool. We're going to see some more cool Shogun stuff. We are going to find out probably a lot more about what happens with Teddy and this thing with the hosts in the water. It does kind of appear that they've all been wiped. So where did their minds go? Are they all in Dolores, maybe? Is she somehow transferring all her consciousnesses into different bodies? How is she doing that? We see that Abernathy is, we're going to see more of the sort of present storyline with Bernard and Elsie and Abernathy in the chair. So we're going to start learning more about what's going on inside his head. But we know that Abernathy is missing again. So Dolores must have got him back somehow. That's going to probably be like the penultimate or the finale of this year. We've got 5 episodes left, so we'll see. But again, fucking badass episode. Really, really good. This was the cool... Oh, and of course, come on. During the red dance, what Shogun Ninja episode would be without some Wu-Tang Clan? Took me a minute to figure out that they were playing Cream. Get the money, dollar dollar bill, y'all. I'm sorry. I did that. I just did that. I should just... No. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Subscribers, I believe we are at 59 right now. So, like I've said before, the Handmaid's Tale contest will be officially going on Wednesday when I do that video. And then I'm announcing that there will be another contest for when we hit 75 subscribers. So, you can't win a contest. You can't be a part of the contest unless you're a subscriber. So if you like this video, hit like. If you want to subscribe because you like the videos, you want to be a part of the contest or whatever, hit subscribe, share, comment. Tell me what's cool, what's not cool. What do you want me to do? What do you not want me to do? So anyway, there's all that. Tomorrow we've got a new review for 13 Reasons Why. I just posted the Deadpool 2 review. It does have some spoilers, but not right away. Handmaid's Tale on Wednesday. Comic reviews on Wednesday. Preacher comes out next month. Solo comes out this week. Got a lot going on the channel, so I will constantly stay busy. Arrested Development Season 5 comes out on May 30th, so busy. Lots of videos to watch. And yeah, we will see you on the next one. Cannot wait for next week. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for all the support. Bye-bye.